We're ready for kickoff. A 7:30 start because of the distance traveled by Center Grove to get here to Carroll. Center Grove, white uniforms, jerseys, and pants with red letters and numbers, and they all huddle over the football at the 40, and now they disperse. And they spread out along the 36-yard line. And set to kick it off is Dallas Cornprops, a junior kicker. He's got it teed up, and here goes the boot, and we're underway. It's a short kick, bouncing at the 15 and going out of bounds, and Carroll's going to have great field position, getting the ball 1st and 10 out at the 35-yard line after an out-of-bounds kick. And for the Chargers, taking the field will be their junior quarterback, Gabe Freisinger, won the job over former Leo quarterback Grayson Esguerra. Freisinger, 6'2", 195 pounds. In the backfield, Billy Lauer, a 5'11", 195-pound junior running back. And, of course, the guy to watch playing his first game after missing last week, Jaden Van Pelt. Carroll lines it up on the left hash. 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. It'll be a shotgun for Freisinger. He'll put a wing to the right, 2 receivers wide right, 1 receiver split to the left. Right to left here in the first quarter. They will go into the wind. There's the shotgun snap, read option, and it's a toss. Bachman makes the catch at the 42, escapes one as he turns to the sideline, and he gets all the way out near midfield at the 49-yard line, a 14-yard gain, and just a little curl route. Some space on Bauman, and he made the catch and run and turned it into a nice play for a first down for Carroll. And they're going to hustle and get up to the line of scrimmage from their own 49. 1st and 10, handoff Lauer, and he gets smothered at the line of scrimmage. Leading the way for the Center Grove defense is Troop Paxson, a linebacker who filled the gap and took Lauer down for no gain at all. 2nd down and 10.
Well, I tell you, the Klein is going to have his hands full tonight against Cherry because he's right over him.
Empty backfield with 5 split, and they throw to the near sideline. Good reaction to the ball by Bachman, and he makes the catch at the Center Grove 45. Curls out of bounds at the 43, 2 yards short of the yard to gain. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. But again, if they give them the big cushion, it looks like Freisinger may target Bachman all day on the outside.
Yeah, and another good-looking kid at quarterback. Even though he's a lefty, the 2 passes he's thrown thus far have been pretty good shots.
Even though he's a lefty, you got a problem with left-handed quarterbacks?
I'm prejudiced.
5 wide, quick drop, pump fake, now a roll to the left. And he throws near side, and it's wide, not a play. It's incomplete, looking for Bauman at about the 32-yard line, right up against the sideline, but it sailed wide of Bauman. And so now you've got a 4th down and 2 at the 43. Do you play the field position game or do you gamble? And right now the offense still on the field.
Well, I think he's probably either going to try to draw him off here and take the delay and punt it, or it could be a quick kick as they
they've got 5 wide, so a shotgun with 5 wide, and there was some activity at the line of scrimmage, but he didn't cross the plane. Ooh. They're looking to the sideline, trying to determine what to do, and Carroll's going to have to burn a timeout with the play clock ticking down, so I'm not sure about that. If you're going to try to get him to jump offside, you want to burn an early timeout. Carroll does, and so now they're probably going to punt from the Center Grove 43-yard line. It's 4th down and 2. And a timeout on the field. You're listening to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week. A 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Carroll punts, and Corbin Dempsey hangs one inside the 10. It's a fair catch at the 8-yard line, and that is where Center Grove sends out their offense for the first time. We're scoreless with 11:09 remaining here in the opening quarter. Oscar Sloan, the 6'4", 190-pound sophomore quarterback, will take over for the Trojans. In the backfield, Nolan Reese, a 5'11", 190-pound senior, the top returning rusher for the Trojans from a year ago. Last week, he rushed for 139 yards with 20 carries. 2 backs line up in the backfield. Shotgun for Sloan, and he'll give it to the tailback. Met at the 10, and then stood up as he falls forward to around the 11 or maybe even the 12. We'll give him 4 yards on the carry up the middle, and that is Nolan Reese with a 4-yard run on first down. It brings up second down and 6.
You know, Carroll's defense played a respectable game last week as being the strength, and Newhouser's going to have a big game tonight.
Ball is on the right hash. 2 receivers, wide side left, 1 receiver to the right, 2nd and 6. Drop back in the pocket. Sloan throws over to the far side. It's caught at the 18-yard line, makes a man miss, and then taking it out to the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. Center Grove with a completion for a 13-yard gain, and they found Drake McClurg, and he's the favorite target for Center Grove. The top returning receiver is 5'11", 185 pounds, a junior who had 3 catches last week.
Yeah, Van Pelt was actually there to make the play, and he dropped his head, and that enabled him to escape and get the extra 5 or 6 yards.
From the left hash, man in motion across the formation, left to right, handoff up the middle. Reese with a big hole. He's across the 35, runs over a tackler to the 40, and out across the 45. There is a flag at the 31-yard line. If this play stands, it's at the 47, which would be a gain of 22 yards, but I think it's coming back.
Yeah, they got a pretty good chunk of jersey there.
Holding, offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, remains first down.
It is a holding penalty, and that is a big one against Center Grove because that was a nice run, a strong run by Nolan Reese, and he was running behind the left side of that line, and that's where they've got a couple of horses. C.J. Seifries, an IU recruit at 6'6", 330, and Brady Weber, a 6'5", 285-pound senior, lining up at the left guard. That's over 600 pounds of offensive line just on that left side. Almost makes the field lean. Here's a drop and a delayed draw. Goes to Reese. Reese just dances away from tacklers, keeps on his feet across the 30 and spins to the 32-yard line. Nice game by Nolan Reese, and right now Carroll's got to be able to tackle.
Yeah,
because they're getting him in the grasp, and he's just pulling right away.
Yeah, they're there to make the play, but right now they're reaching instead of wrapping, and when you reach like that, they're going to break a tackle or two, especially good running backs like Center Grove has.
Second down and a long 4 from the 31.5-yard line. It's a shotgun. 2 in the backfield, and they'll give it to the running back right up the middle, and again breaks through tackles across the 40, finally taken down out near the 43-yard line, but that's going to be enough to move the chains. And, you know, we saw this last year play out. It was a different opponent, but Hamilton Southeastern came in here and just ran all over this Carroll defense. And right now, Center Grove, with a pretty potent running attack, has it 1st and 10 at their own 43.
Yeah, they're just running inside zone.
Here's another handoff up the middle. This time they'll give it to Hudson Winkler, a 5'10", 190-pound junior, and he'll plow out to the 48, picking up 5 yards. Leading the way, Gavin Goldacker, the 6'5", 280-pound junior nose tackle. They've got a good one at middle linebacker in Eli Newhouser, a 6'3", 230-pound junior. He was impressive a year ago, and he's kind of the heart of that Carroll defense.
Has been.
Drop back on play action, throws far side, and it's caught by McClurg over on the sideline for a first down at the Carroll 44. That's a gain of 8 yards, and they'll move the chains, and Center Grove on the move, starting this drive at their own 8-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a nice little whip there by their young quarterback there, Sloan. And like you said, nice sized kid and a lively arm there as he threw a outcut right on the number there to the wideout to get that first down.
From the left hash, 1st and 10 at the Carroll 44 for the Trojans. They'll look to set up a screen. They toss it out to McClurg. McClurg picks up 1 block, but needed a couple, and he gets taken down as he works his way inside the 40 to about the 38. That's still going to be a 6-yard pickup.
Well, you got to say right now, Center Grove has got a really good rhythm and mix of running past them this first drive, and a very tradition-rich running back room. Carson Steele, unfortunately, just got cut by the Chiefs as a proud Trojan.
Roman Youngs in the slot, moves over to the left, and they will give it to the running back, Ricky Lang. Cuts it off the left end of the line and takes it up the hash marks inside the 35. He falls forward to the 33, and that's going to be another first down for the Center Grove Trojans. And the team from Greenwood is moving the football on their initial offensive possession.
Making it look easy. Outside of the one penalty, it's been pretty flawless thus far.
Clock runs with 7:20 left. Opening quarter, we're still scoreless. The Center Grove on the move at the Carroll 32. Ball on the left hash. Two receivers bunched up over on the right. One receiver to the left, and here goes Lang up the middle, and he follows that left side of the line and gets a big gain. It's going to be about an 8-yard pickup, getting inside the 25 to the 24. That give him 9 to the 23. And I'll tell you, that's where they run it. They run it behind those two big horses on the left side of their line.
Well, you just found out why CJ's a Power 4 commit going to Indiana, and Bob Bostad got to be happy with him, as he is a technician right now and opening some big holes.
From the left hash, second down, 1 to go from the 23, and Center Grove is going to call a timeout with 6:26 on the clock here in the first quarter. We're still scoreless, but the Trojans just on the doorstep of the red zone, threatening after taking over on their own 8. They have moved it to the Carroll 23-yard line. It is 2nd and 1 when we return to the Midwest Box Breaks High School football game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Well, surprise, we're actually playing football. It is a 2nd and 1 and a handoff right behind the left side of that line, and it's going to be first down yardage, and it's in the red zone at the 19-yard line after a 4-yard pickup. And Jaden Bickerstaff becomes the 4th Center Grove Trojan to have a carry on this opening drive. From the left hash, 1st and 10 at the Carroll 19-yard line. Here's the give to Reese around the left end. Cuts it up the sideline, and he gets knocked out of bounds somewhere near the 13, maybe the 12 after gaining about 7 yards.
Well, I'll tell you, they just captured the edge there outside zone play, and there wasn't a Carroll Charger within 5-6 yards of the ball there.
They ran at Seth McCaw, the corner on that side. McCaw just 5'8", 160. His eyes probably got big seeing some of those big linemen coming out there looking to set a block.
I bet he did.
2nd down, 3 to go from the 13. Here's a bounce outside by Reese. Puts the pad level low. Plows right over McCaw and then gets tackled by the next man in. The safety came up in run support, took him down near the 8-yard line, but that's another first down. And it's 1st and goal for the Trojans.
Yeah, and again, just really doing a good job of mixing plays inside, outside, then throwing it when they have the opportunity here on this first drive. It's been impressive.
Still on the left hash. 5.5 minutes left, opening quarter. And they'll give it on the sweep. They hand it off to Drake McClurg, and he tries to get around the left corner and take it up the sideline. He gets knocked out of bounds around the 3. He got 5. From the 8 to the 3, it is now 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line for Center Grove. Looking to strike first. It's a scoreless game as the clock sits at 5:27 left in quarter number 1.
Well, Carroll's going to have to try to find a way here, bow up and hold them to probably 3 if they can. But right now they're knocking on the door.
2nd down, goal. Double tight end set. Give to the running back Winkler, and Winkler is in. Follows the left side of the line and gets into the end zone from 3 yards out. Hudson Winkler with his 2nd touchdown of the year, and Center Grove takes a 6-0 lead.
Well, that was a 14-play drive that started on the 8, and then 92 yards later, they're in.
Extra point attempt coming up. Here's the snap. The set is down. The kick is away, and it is good. Splits the uprights, and it's a 7-0 Center Grove lead on a 92-yard scoring drive with 5:25 left in the opening quarter. Center Grove 7, Carroll nothing. This is the Midwest Box Breaks high school football game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Center Grove strikes first. They lead at 7-0, and now the Trojans to kick off with 5:25 remaining in quarter number 1. Jaden Van Pelt goes back deep. He's between the hash marks. Lined up just to the outside of the left hash mark. Looks like that is Shealy. And here's the kick. And they're going to kick it away from Van Pelt. And Harrison Shealy gets it across the 25 and goes down at the 26-yard line. About a 16-yard return on the kick. 1st and 10 for Carroll. And correction, that was Mason Bachman who had the return. Yeah. So Bachman the return to the 26. Well, give him the 27. 1st and 10 Chargers.
And I was kind of surprised the ease that Center Grove took that opening drive down the field. I figured that Carroll's defense may be a pretty good matchup, but not on that drive they weren't.
Dave Freisinger lines up on the left hash, and he'll throw. Little screen, and he just sailed it over Van Pelt. And incomplete. Van Pelt had lined up at an interior slot and kind of swung back into the backfield, and that pass just had too much on it. So the incompletion by Freisinger brings up 2nd down and 10.
That one kind of looked like it slipped out of his hand almost.
From their own 27-yard line. Chargers from the left hash. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. They'll give it to the running back. He looks for running room on the right side. Nothing there. He'll go down for a loss back at the 25-yard line. Loss of 2 as Center Grove just totally took away the edge. Frankie Hayes was the linebacker who came in and applied the stick to Asher Wagner, a 5'10", 205-pound junior running back. And now you've got 3rd down and 12 from the 25 for Carroll. Centered between the hash marks. Balanced formation. Drop back in the pocket. Time to throw. And he's got a man open. Van Pelt, but he overthrew him at the Center Grove 40-yard line. Down the right sideline. Van Pelt had gotten behind the defense. And Freisinger, with just too much mustard, put it out of the reach of Van Pelt.
I'd like to see Van Pelt just kind of keep running a little bit there and hopefully get himself to run under it. But like you said, it was just a step or 2 out of his reach, and that would have been a huge play.
That's one, and we talked about it quite a bit before, Griff, that as a quarterback, you got to get air under it and let your receiver adjust a little bit to the football. That time there was no chance. He sailed it over the head of Van Pelt, and even with his extra effort on the sprint, he couldn't quite get to it. Here's punt formation and the kick away. High hanging kick. And it's going to be fumble on the catch. It's loose at the 50-yard line, and a big scrum for the football. Who's got it? Carroll has the football. A mistake by Center Grove, muffing the punt. And Carroll recovers it at the 49. Coming away with it, it is Jacob Schlotterback, a 5'8", 155-pound sophomore, and he's pumped up.
Yeah, great opportunity now for Carroll to get themselves back on the board here after getting a big turnover.
Tell you what, the running game hasn't been there for a week and a half or a week plus for Carroll. I might come right out and try to hit the home run ball right here.
Yeah.
You got momentum at your own 49. Ball on the right hash. 3 receivers left. Drop back in the pocket. Freisinger throws over the middle. Van Pelt the catch at the 45, the 40, the 35. He's got the burners through the middle of the field. 25, 29. Cuts to the left sideline. 10, 5. Touchdown. Jaden Van Pelt putting on a show. Sat out last week, but what a play by Van Pelt. The catch over the middle. He sprinted away from the second level and then got to the sideline to finish it off. And the Chargers answer. An extra point away from tying up the football game.
Well, it wasn't a bomb. It was just a little sit route that split the linebackers, and he was able to turn on the afterburners. And we saw his speed there pulling away from at least 3 Trojans and picking up a block there to get in the end zone. And what a way to answer.
Corbin Dempsey is going to try to tack on an extra point. 22 of 23 in his career. The kick is up, and it is good. We are knotted up at 7 apiece with 4:14 remaining in quarter number 1. We'll come back. The Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. The Carroll Chargers take advantage of a muffed punt and get the ball at the 49, and it took one play, a 51-yard strike on a 10-yard throw over the middle from Freisinger to Jaden Van Pelt. And it is thunder and lightning here in the first half, and I'm not talking about the weather. I'm talking about the rumbling thunder offense of Center Grove, doing it on the ground with a 92-yard drive, and the Chargers answering with a one-play strike. We're all tied up. Here's the kick, and the kick bobbled at the 5. Now at the 10, here comes the coverage, and they'll take him down. And the ball actually came away a second time and went out of bounds on the far sideline. A lot of trouble handling that by Ricky Lang, the sophomore. And now another deep field position for Center Grove, having to start this drive at the 12.
Yeah, not a way to make the coach feel any good.
See how Carroll adjusts the defense. Shotgun snap, play action, little dump in the backfield. It is caught. One block at the 20 and out to the 25-yard line is Dominic Berry, the tight end. Just a little slip to the outside. Berry the catch. They set up the blocking in front of him. And a nice gain of 13 yards. Has it at the 25, 1st and 10.
He's a good-looking tight end. They're running out there in space. Nice
Center Grove, left to right here in the first quarter with 3:40 left. We're tied at 7. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers, wide side of the left, 1 to the right. And on 1st and 10, the handoff up the middle, and a big hole for Nolan Reese. He takes it all the way to the 33. And that was Newhouser with the tackle, but you need your middle linebacker to make plays closer to the line of scrimmage. That is a 9-yard gain at the 34 to bring up 2nd down and 1.
Yeah, that's a thing there, is he's getting a pretty good running lane, and by the time they get a hat on him, it's 6-7 yards down the field.
Shotgun from the right hash. 2nd down and 1. And they'll give it to the running back. Reese puts the pads low. And that time Newhouser came up and met him right at the line of scrimmage. But just enough power running for Nolan Reese to move the chains and get it out to the 37 after picking up 3 yards. 1st and 10, Center Grove at their own 37-yard line. 2:40 and the clock runs here in the first quarter. Just inside the right hash. Shotgun snap and a give. They'll give it to the running back, and this is Jaden Biggerstaff. And Biggerstaff, not quite the same success. He's 5'11", 180, a sophomore that gets it to the 40 after picking up 3 yards. Well, they'll give him the 42. I didn't think he got that far.
That was a nice spot.
Yeah. That's a 5-yard gain. It looked like Carroll's defense had kind of swarmed him down close to the 40, but they give him the 42-yard line for a 2nd down and 5. Sophomore quarterback Oscar Sloan takes the shotgun snap from the pocket. He's going to throw, and he gets it to a sit route. Cade Timmons the catch at the 48. He goes across midfield before being tripped up by Seth McCaw. But it's a 1st down for Center Grove at the Carroll 48-yard line.
Tell you, that young man, that ball jumps right out of his hands for a sophomore. He's been pretty much spot on all night.
Yeah, he really slings it. Probably from a technical aspect, not perfect fundamentally, but the ball comes out like a pitcher.
Yeah.
Here's a handoff to Reese. He'll take it inside the 45 to the 43 after picking up 5 yards on the first down carry. That time they ran behind the right side of the line. And it's 2nd down and 5 for Center Grove as we tick down toward the final minute of our first quarter, tied at 7.
Yeah, he's kind of got a little bit of a whippy motion with his throw, and but it does still come out pretty quickly.
A highly technical term from Coach Griff, whippy. Here's a little swing. Again, they put the tight end out the flat. He makes the catch and then heads for the far sideline. And Dominic Berry turns it into a first down gain all the way to the 32-yard line. 10-yard pickup. Nothing fancy there. They kind of clear that side, and the tight end just slips out, and a short little dump off and a lot of running room for Berry, a 6'4", 230-pound senior tight end.
Yeah, he's a good-looking target out there running around, and you can see how they utilize him. He's a fullback, he's a tight end attached, and very athletic.
Handoff, Reese up the middle. Gets through the hole. The 20, the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Nolan Reese. From 32 yards out, touchdown Center Grove, and the Trojans take the lead with just 24 seconds left in the opening quarter.
Again, just a simple inside zone play that they've ran pretty much all night, and big old hole there.
He pulled away from the linebacker and then just sprinted right through the safeties and got all the way to the end zone, running right up the middle of the field. Extra point try, the set down, the kick up, and it is good. With 24 seconds left in quarter number 1, Center Grove answers back. They lead at 14-7 over the Carroll Chargers on the high school football game of the week, presented by Midwest Box Breaks on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. So far, it's been a shootout. Center Grove, a 92-yard drive. Carroll, a 51-yard play. Now Center Grove answers with an 88-yard drive. A 32-yard run finished it off, and the Trojans lead it 14-7 over Carroll. And Center Grove now to kick it off. Left to right, here's the boot. And again, they'll put it on the near sideline where Bachman makes the catch at about the 17. Up the sideline, he breaks a tackle at the 30 and across the 35 out to about the 37 or 38-yard line. Nice return by Bachman right down the sideline. And with 19 seconds left, Carroll will have it 1st and 10 at their own 39. Gabe Freisinger, the junior quarterback, lines up with a single back. Billy Lauer in the backfield. 2 receivers split each side. There's the snap and a quick throw, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. And that was knocked down by the defensive end, Lincoln Bright. Bright is a 6'3", 230-pound defensive end, a senior who got the hands up and swatted it to the turf. And so it's 2nd down and 10 at the 39. And once again, Carroll in a hurry up from the left hash. There's the handoff. Lauer behind the right side of his line, cuts up inside the right tackle and takes it to the 40. A short gain of about a yard. And it's going to be 3rd and long, and that's going to be the way the second quarter will begin. The clock runs to zeros, and we finish quarter number 1. Center Grove, a 14-7 lead over the Carroll Chargers here at Carroll. Second quarter comes up next on the Midwest Box Breaks high school football game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Start of the second quarter with Center Grove leading at 14-7 over Carroll. Carroll now left to right. That's north to south. And it is 3rd down and 9 from their own 40. Freisinger, the lefty, drops back, throws, and Van Pelt the catch at midfield for first down, and he breaks away from one. Can't get away from the second man down at the 49 of Center Grove. But a first down on an 11-yard play on 3rd and 9.
Freisinger, he's got a lively arm too. And filling the shoes of Jimmy Sullivan and has looked pretty decent here in this first half.
I know Carroll expecting big things from Jaden Van Pelt, and so far he is showing it. Just a nice little curl in an open cushion, and Freisinger with the strike. And what I liked about that route was that Van Pelt got across the first down stick to make the catch.
Situational awareness, and now they're going to go a little bit of a...
Well, on the
Wildcat.
snap, we've got flags, and it's going to be a penalty against Carroll. Well, they didn't announce it.
Yeah.
And we're even plugged into the referee mic, so that
he's been pretty good. But they try to go to this Wildcat and got the play in there late.
1st and 15. Now it's on Carroll's side of the 50, and it's the Wildcat with Van Pelt. He breaks away from the oncoming rush in the backfield, but can't get much around the right end. Chased out of bounds at the 47-yard line after picking up just a yard or two. That time somebody from Center Grove up front broke free into the backfield. Van Pelt did a nice job to escape a 5-yard loss, but only a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 14. Then they go quick. Here's another pass by Freisinger, and again it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. That time it looked like Kobe Cherry got his hands up. And Cherry is a 6'5", 285-pound defensive lineman. Listed as a defensive end, but he slid in and is playing the tackle position.
Better matchup there with the 5'8" guard.
Yeah. 3rd down, 14 to go from their own 47-yard line. Ball on the right hash, drop back in the pocket. Freisinger looks, fires, and it's caught by Van Pelt at the Center Grove 40, and then he puts the pads down. But he stepped out of bounds before he got the extra couple of yards right at the 40-yard line. Unfortunately, that's a yard shy of the 1st down. He would have had it if he could have kept that foot in bounds. But now it's 4th down and 1 at the Center Grove 40, and Carroll lines up to go for it. There's the snap, and they'll fake the handoff. The keeper for Freisinger, and he's going to be swallowed up in the backfield. Cam Linder broke into the backfield. Got some help from Carson Sloan. And that will be a loss on the play. And on 4th down, it turns it over on downs to Center Grove.
They came out and out-thought themselves on that one because they tried to go quick to catch Center Grove. And ultimately, they had a blocking assignment mistake, and it was over from the time it's hit the quarterback's hands.
Center Grove a 14-7 lead. Starts 1st and 10 at their 41, and they will hand it up the middle. And a short gain this time for Reese. He'll get it out to the 45 and 4 yards. Now considered a short run, the way that Center Grove has been plowing holes through the Carroll Chargers defense. 2nd down and 6 from their own 45.
Yeah,
that time the lid came off for Nolan Reese, so he's got to go sit down. Into the game, Ricky Lang, a 5'9", 160-pound sophomore running back. 2nd down, 6 from the 45. Low snap, picked up by Sloan. Now he'll sling it to Lang out of the backfield, right sideline, across the 45, and sprinting toward the sideline. He's chased out of bounds at the 49, and that's going to be 2 yards shy of the stick. It will be 3rd down and 2.
Nice job there by Sloan. Bad snap, does not panic, finds his outlet valve and hits him, and for a pass that went about 2 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, it turned out to be an 8-yard gain.
So it is 3rd down, 2 to go from their 49. Ball on the right hash, high snap, but they get it down, hand it off, and met in the backfield. No gain there for Lang, and that is going to bring up a 4th down. And let's see, they gave him the line of scrimmage, so it's 4th down and 2. Nolan Reese is already running into the game. I think Center Grove is going to go for it, and they're going to make sure that their 5'11", 190-pound senior running back is in the game for this fourth down play.
Yeah, and they're going to their version of the Wildcat here.
3 backs in the backfield, including the quarterback. They'll fake the handoff. They'll run it, and they'll be held short, I believe. Let's see where they mark it. He got across the 50. He needed the 49.
Yeah, there's no way.
But it's going to depend where they put the spot. And I thought his knee went down and the ball was still at the 49.5, but they gave him the 49, and that might be enough based on the spot.
Oh, wow. That's a bad. I disagree with this spot.
Well, his knee went down, and then his upper body fell forward, and they gave him that upper body lean forward.
He was down behind us. I thought right there, right about the 50.
Right at the 50. Well, they'll measure. Here's the change. They'll stretch it out, and it is short. A couple of inches short. So it's all for naught. It is the Carroll football, and back-to-back fourth down stops by both defenses. And Carroll takes over with great field position at their own 49.
Well, that was a big stop that they needed there, and I didn't think they were going to get it by that spot. But now's the time I'm not so sure. I'm not come out here to Van Pelt and double move and take a shot down the field again.
Well, Freisinger has had some trouble getting the ball over that big defensive front. Freisinger 6'2", but kind of has a low release. From the left hash, 1st and 10. From the 49, Freisinger will take a deep drop and then let it air out deep over the middle of the field, and he overshot Van Pelt on a post route. Good coverage, man-to-man that time by Center Grove. They were stride for stride with Van Pelt, and the incomplete pass will make it 2nd down and 10.
I'm not so sure Van Pelt was running at full speed there. As you can see, he's even walking back to the huddle after that. So I know it wasn't a great throw, and we got a penalty here also.
There is a holding penalty called on the play against the Carroll Chargers.
Ow.
That will bring it back to the 39-yard line. And it's 1st down and 20. 9:43 remains, second quarter, 14-7. Center Grove the lead. Chargers 1st and 20 from the 39. Handoff, Lowers. He is swallowed up and lost a yard right up the middle. Well, they'll give him the line. Those officials are throwing me off. Did you see that sidestep? He marked it at the 38 and then slid sideways to the 39. Yeah. So it's no gain at second down and 20.
And I think he was right where he was standing. You know what I mean? With the spot. But like you said, he cheated up a yard.
So the ball on the left hash at their own 39-yard line. 2nd down and 20. Drop back for Freisinger. Here he is, lobbing it over the middle. Got a man open, Van Pelt. Nobody there. Van Pelt's taking it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown. 61 yards. And broken coverage by Center Grove left Van Pelt wide open on the post over the middle. Nobody within 7 or 8 yards of Van Pelt. He scores his 2nd touchdown of the ball game, and Carroll a chance to tie it up.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. It looked like a linebacker and the safety got crossed up, and he went right up the seam, and nobody was even within 10 yards of him.
Corbin Dempsey with an extra point to tie it with 8:56 remaining before halftime. There's the snap, the set, and the kick up by Dempsey. It is good. We are tied. 14 apiece. 8:56 remaining in the second. You're listening to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Welcome back to Carroll High School. Brett Rump with Shannon Griffith. And back in the studio, Macy Gray is going to have our halftime scoreboard, also serving as our producer for tonight's broadcast. All tied up, 14 apiece. We've still got 8:56 remaining in the first half, and Dempsey's kick, that's a good one. It's going to carry all the way into the end zone and be a touchback. And Center Grove has not been held up by poor field position. Their first drive started on the 8, and they took it 92 yards for a score. Then they had the ball at the 12 and took it 88 yards for a touchdown drive.
Yeah, and as much as their offense has kind of moved the football at will, for Carroll to be sitting here 14-14 after a big fourth down stop, it's a new ball game.
The sophomore quarterback, Oscar Sloan, lines up in the gun with a single back, play action, little toss to the tight end. He makes the catch. That's Barry taking it to the right sideline, and he gets run out of bounds after picking up 5 yards to the 25.
Little slip screen out there to Barry. Big-looking body kid, 6'4", and about 230.
Third time we've seen that same play.
Yeah, and I would too. I mean, he's a big target. He has some good hands, and when he gets the ball in him, he can run and put a punishing hit on you as well. So
yeah, at 6'4", 230 pounds, big senior tight end. And a give up the middle, and Carroll gets in the backfield. Great penetration right up the middle by Gavin Goldacker. And he makes the tackle for no gain at the 25. It will bring up a third down, 5 to go. And we've got a penalty, and it's a face mask called against the Carroll Chargers. And I think they called it the 15-yard face mask.
Not good.
It is the personal foul face mask. That's 15 yards. So instead of 3rd and 5, it's now going to be a first down and a step off out to the 41-yard line, where Center Grove has it 1st and 10 with 8:45 remaining in the second quarter. Tied at 14 apiece. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs in the backfield. Shotgun for Sloan, and he'll give it to the back. Here's Reese. Reese hit and taken down as he spins to the 45-yard line. And that actually is Hudson Winkler, who snuck into the backfield. They've got 4 running backs that they're kind of rotating through. Reese now back into the game. Winkler with the 4-yard gain makes it 2nd down and 6 at their own 45-yard line for Center Grove. Just over 8 minutes on the clock. 14-14 tie. The snap high, but handled by Sloan. Gives to Reese. Reese tries to find running room behind the left side of the line, and coming in and making the play, it's Coleman Tipton, the linebacker for Carroll, and he'll take him down after only a 1-yard gain. So it is now 3rd down and 5 to go for Center Grove. Can this Carroll defense come up with a stop? They got a stop on a 4th down play. Other than that, Center Grove has gone up and down the field. 3rd and medium. 5 to go from their 46. Here's a drop back, a throw out in the flat. Tight end makes the catch up the sideline. Barry's got the first down. He's across midfield inside the Carroll 45 to the 43. And that's easily first down yardage. And once again, they just slip the tight end out to the right flat and fire it out there to him and let him do his thing. The athlete at 6'4", 230 sprints down the sideline for first down yardage.
Yeah, he is a load, I would say, when he gets out there.
They'll give the inside handoff on a run to the right and a broken tackle as Hudson Winkler breaks away from someone at the line of scrimmage. Looked like he got away from Austin Roars, an outside linebacker, 6'3", 207-pound junior, and he takes it for 5 yards, finally being taken to the turf at about the Carroll 38. 6:47, the clock is running. Quarter number 2, tied 14 apiece between Center Grove and Carroll. Center Grove with the handoff. Reese follows the right side of the line and breaks away from a tackle and eventually spins for first down yardage after a 6-yard gain, but there's going to be a hold called against Center Grove, and that's bringing this play back. They mark the flag at the 40. going to be a costly penalty against the Trojans. That march off from the spot is going to take it back to midfield. And it's going to be a second down and about 17 to go.
Yeah, they've had some, a couple penalties now, and they were running things pretty flawlessly there in the first quarter. And they've ran into some tough breaks here in the second. Couple penalties and the stop on that 4th and short.
Well, they only took it back to the 48. But now the referee is coming over to talk. Let's because the referee was the one who threw the flag, and then he went over and picked it up and sat it right on the 40-yard line. Hey, look at that. I got one right, Griff. They figured it out. They just picked the ball up and moved it back to the 50.
Well, I sent a text down to the head of the referee and said, look, knock it off.
Rump says it should be at the 50. Move it to the 50.
He got these new glasses a year ago, and you're messing him all up.
Yeah. Cataracts keep getting worse. My glasses are going to have to be stronger.
I know. Getting old.
Yeah.
Has a tendency to be, what.
So it is second down and 17 after all. Just took a while to get there. On the right hash. 2 receivers wide side to the left, 1 to the right, and play action. Dropping back, throwing deep, right sideline, man-to-man coverage. And up and making the catch, it is McClurg. And there's a flag, and I think that's Carroll bumping into McClurg just before he went up and caught it. But that's a beautiful one-on-one play. Just lay it up there and let Drake McClurg, your junior wideout, go up and make a play. And he does at the 13-yard line, first down, Center Grove.
Yeah, good 50-50 ball throw there by Gabe. And I tell you, pretty decent coverage as well, other than the PI. But nice big-time play.
6:23 remains, quarter number 2, tied up, but in the red zone. Center Grove first and 10 at the Chargers 13. Here's Lang taking it around right end, cuts up at the numbers inside the 10, hit and taken down at the 9. 4-yard pickup for Ricky Lang, a 560-pound sophomore running back. Carried the ball 7 times for 36 yards a week ago. Here they give him 4. It's second down and 6 from the 9. Tied up 14 apiece, under the 6-minute mark in the second quarter. And they will give it again to the running back. Met at the 6, pushed backwards. And that is Reese this time with the carry for 3 yards. So it's to the 6, and it will be a third down and about 3 to go. 5.5 minutes, clock runs, quarter number 2, 14-14 tie between the Chargers and the Trojans. Center Grove just inside the right hash. They'll put Sloan under center, and they will give it on the sweep. It is McClurg taking it around the right end to the pylon. Touchdown, Center Grove. Drake McClurg, who made the big catch on the drive, finishes it off with a 6-yard sweep around right end. And Center Grove reclaims the lead 20-14 with 5:08 on the clock in the second quarter. Getting set to try to tack on a extra point. Dallas Corn props. The boot is up, and he remains perfect. 3 for 3 in extra points, and it's a 7-point lead for Center Grove. 21-14. Center Grove leads it over the Carroll Chargers. 5:08 to play before halftime on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Well, it's the shortest drive of the night for Center Grove, but it's still 80 yards, capped off by a 6-yard sweep by wide receiver Drake McClurg. And it's a 21-14 Center Grove lead over the Carroll Chargers with 5:08 remaining in the first half. Now Center Grove gets set to kick off. They'll kick it from the south to the north, right to left as we look at the field here at Carroll High School. Cord Probst has it on the tee, and the kick is away. And again, they will target Bachman. The catch made at the 5, across the 15, out to the 20, and then taken down by a host of Trojans after a 15-yard return. First and 10 for Carroll from their own 20. A 21-14 Center Grove lead. In a game of tag, you're it. It is now Carroll that has to answer, as they have done already twice in this football game. Center Grove took the 7-0 lead. Carroll came back and tied it. Center Grove went back up 14-7. Again, Carroll with the answer. 2 long pass plays for Carroll to Jaden Van Pelt. And now with 5:01 remaining in the second quarter, can they get a hat trick? Here's a drop back Freisinger, a throw over the middle, and a nice diving catch is made. That was caught by Logan Heath, a 5'9", 165-pound wideout, a senior. Catches it for a 6-yard gain out to the 26. Second down and 4. Here comes the blitz and a throw. They get it to Van Pelt near sideline. He curls to the edge and takes it out to the 40-yard line, maybe even the 41. That's a good read by Freisinger because the blitz was coming, and he quickly unloaded to the near side where he had one-on-one coverage against Van Pelt.
And Van Pelt, they're respecting his speed and giving him plenty of room there to keep him in front of him. I'd like to see him double move him here and get it beyond him again.
From their own 41 right hash, again, they'll go to a little out route to Van Pelt. And if they're going to give him a big cushion, they'll take 5 yards every play.
Absolutely.
The catch on the little 5-yard out route. Van Pelt steps out of bounds at the 46. That is a gain of 5. And it's second down and 5 for the Chargers.
And Freisinger's been right on with those type of passes.
Drop back from the right hash, looking to the left, and again Freisinger gets the ball batted down in the backfield. And again, it is Carson Sloan, who is listed on the roster as a 6'3", 190-pound freshman. And, of course, the name Sloan, also the name of the quarterback.
Yeah, maybe a 2-for-1 NIL deal there.
Third down and 5. They'll look for Van Pelt near side. Actually, Van Pelt slipped out, and they had a little out route for, that time it was Logan Heath who makes the catch, and he slides out of bounds, enough for a first down. He gained 7, needed 5, and from the 47-yard line of Center Grove, Carroll has it first and 10 with 4:20 and the clock running. Chargers line up, put a wing to the right side of the formation, single back, shotgun snap. Freisinger drops in the pocket. He's going to go deep over the top, looking for Shaley at the 5. It's too far in front, incomplete. That time tried to slip Harrison Shaley, a 5'9", 150-pound junior wideout behind the defense, and he did have a step.
He did. He just needed more air underneath it again to allow Shaley to run under it. And again, as a quarterback in his second start, he's really done pretty well here in this first half.
He's had 3 passes batted down. And a quarterback draw up the middle. Freisinger hit near the line of scrimmage, falls forward for a yard gain. The ball comes out, but they'll say he was down. And it's going to bring up third down and 9 after the 1-yard gain on the quarterback draw by Freisinger. It's at the 46 of Center Grove. And the clock will run with 3:40 remaining here in the second quarter.
Kind of a big third down here because you're almost getting into that no man's land. Too far for a field goal and almost too close to punt it. But
well, and with 3.5 minutes, you also don't want to turn it over on downs and give Center Grove a chance to get a 2-score lead. Freisinger the drop. He rolls to the left, buys some time, throws over the middle, and it is caught. What a catch by Logan Heath. Hit as he made the grab at the 22-yard line. A flag came flying in. And that may be a hit on a defensive receiver. I didn't think he got there early, but it was a good pop just as the ball arrived. And at the 22-yard line, Carroll with a big first down. And they convert on 3rd and 9. And now you're going to have a penalty in this. Since it's not interference, they can actually tack on yards.
They're actually calling it interference.
It is interference. They came over to ask. I'm like, I wouldn't even ask if it was pass interference. They're going to decline it and take it because it's not a spot foul on interference. It would have been all the way back here outside the 40. Drop back Freisinger. Pump fake. Now he tries to escape pressure. Gets away from one. Can't get away from the second man. He is thrown to the turf. The pressure came, and the pressure takes down Freisinger for a sack back at the 27, a loss of 5.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. And the previous play, he did the same exact thing, stepped up through the left side of that line and found that big play down the field. This time he did it, and unfortunately Center Grove's defensive line was twisting right into it.
Yeah, that end on that side, taking that big arc around the outside of the left tackle, and so there's a spot step up. Play action, throw, and he put it too low at the feet of Van Pelt on the out route on the right sideline. And so an incomplete pass. Now it's 3rd down and 15 to go. Now, here's the thing. You've got a good kicker in Corbin Dempsey, but this would be about a 45-yard kick if they don't get any yards here on 3rd down. 2:29 on the clock. 3rd down, 15. Drop back. Freisinger, he's going to run up the middle of the field. He gets hit and taken down as he gets inside the 25. He's back to the original line of scrimmage at the 22 after the 5-yard gain. And now you're talking about a 39-yard kick if you choose to take the field goal facing 4th down and 10. I think you got to take points here. I don't know. It
depends on what his distance is. I'm sure Doug's going to let the clock run down and take a timeout to take as much time off the clock as possible. Under
2 minutes. Clock continues to run. Carroll lines up. Hard count. They're trying to get 5 yards out of Center Grove, but Center Grove not jumping. Play clock down to 5. Again, the hard count. Nobody moving, and that will force Carroll to take a timeout. So we've got 1:42 remaining here in the first half. Center Grove leads at 21-14 over the Carroll Chargers. Carroll just outside the red zone facing 4th down and 10 when we return to the Midwest Box Breaks High School football game of the week on 1380 The Fan and 100.
Do you remember the good old days as a kid?
Carroll has opted to try a field goal. Corbin Dempsey is on 3 for 4 a year ago in field goals. This will be from 39 yards. Freisinger will hold. Ball is centered between the hash marks. There's the snap, the set, and the kick. It is away. It's got the distance, and it is good. 39 yards. Corbin Dempsey drills the 3, and we've got a 21-17 score. But now Center Grove with 1:36 to work with here at the end of the second quarter. And remember, why it's important right now is Center Grove won the opening coin toss. They deferred, so the Trojans are going to get the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, that in the proper cadence on there, drilled. Because that would have been probably good for another 10 yards back.
Yeah, that was a deep line drive kick. Almost still going up as it went through the uprights from 39 yards away. Strong leg for Dempsey. Second-year kicker for the Chargers. In fact, the Chargers have had a pretty good kicker now for about the last 5 years.
Yeah, they really have. Good thing they got points out of that 13-play drive.
Dempsey is 6'4", 180 pounds. He's a good-sized kicker. He'll tee it up, see if they squib it. Nope, they'll kick it deep, and, of course, Dempsey will kick it all the way into the end zone. 5 yards into the blue turf. And so it's an automatic touchback brought out to the 20 with 1:36 on the clock. Center Grove 21, Carroll 17. And now the Trojans look to add something here late in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we've got the Hoopy halftime report. And, of course, our highlight, the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven halftime scoreboard with Macy Gray back in the studio. Shotgun for Sloan. Play action. They'll swing it. And a wild pass. And if Carroll had their head up, they might have been able to make a pick six out of that. But they were looking at their intended receiver coming up to make the hit. And Jaden Van Pelt had the coverage out there. Incomplete pass, second down and 10. The clock stops at 1:32.
Yeah, and I think Carroll has at least one left now. So you got to think they can get another stop here, then they have another chance to get some points.
Got to watch Drake McClurg. He's the star receiver. He's lined up wide left, and they will delay draw it up the middle to Reese. Reese will scoot across the 20 out to the 24. That's a 4-yard gain for Nolan Reese. Yeah. A little more manageable now on third down, and the clock will run, so even if they don't get it, they're not going to leave the Chargers a bunch of time. And remember, in the back pocket, Center Grove knows they'll get the second half kickoff.
Yeah, and I would say, depending on what happens here, if it comes to fourth down, you got to imagine Doug will still take the timeout and force him to punt it.
Shotgun on third down and 6 from the 24. Play action. Swing it. It is caught on the inside screen to McClurg, and he'll dance his way up the middle of the field across the 30 for the first down to the 34-yard line. A 10-yard gain. We'll give him the 33, call it a 9-yard pickup, and Center Grove hustles to the line of scrimmage. First and 10. Again, the play action. They'll swing it out of the backfield. It's caught, running to the far sideline, chased out of bounds near the 43. Out of bounds at the 42. That's going to be a yard shy of the first down, but it stops the clock with 33 seconds, and Center Grove has it out at their own 42-yard line.
That's that same little slip screen to the tight end again that Carroll hasn't had it anywhere close to stopping it.
Clock stop, 33 seconds remaining in the half. 21-17, Center Grove the lead and the football. Second down, a yard to go from the 42. Play action, drop back, looking. Again, they'll slip it back out of the backfield. It's caught, and then scooting out of bounds just across the first down stick is the running back. And well, no, you know what? They're going to say he stepped out at the 41. I thought he sprinted to the sideline and got in front of the stick, but that's
a loss.
Actually a loss of a yard. It stops the clock at 28 seconds, but it brings up a third down and 2 to go.
Same thing here. If Carroll gets out of this, they still take a timeout and force him to punt it.
Third down, 2 to go. Wing to the left of the formation. And they give it to the back up the middle of the field. They'll try to get a surge. Carroll gets in the gap, and they'll push him back all the way into the backfield, and forward progress.
Gotcha.
Not enough to give him a first down. It'll be fourth down, 20 seconds on the clock. And a good spot again out at the 42.5. That's only about 6 inches short of the first down.
Wow.
Now it's 18 seconds.
Well, it should have been 20. Doug called the timeout, but you're correct. That's a lot closer than I thought it was.
Well, I think they're trying to figure out, was there a timeout called? And yes, the referee will signal that Carroll did take a timeout. Right now they're keeping 18 seconds on the clock. It is a fourth down and a foot to go from their own 42.5-yard line. 18 seconds. What do you do here if you're Center Grove? Do you trust the punt, or do you trust a half-yard gain?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you think they've really not been stopped to the extent that you would say, wow, this could be a really big gamble if we go for it here. But then again, you don't want to give Carroll a couple shots at the end zone either.
They've added 5 seconds, 23 now on the clock. Well, my thinking on the punt is you've got Jaden Van Pelt, who's already exploded for 2 touchdowns on big plays. And Van Pelt lines up at his own 25-yard line. I don't think you'd want to give it to Van Pelt.
No, I think this ball should be aimed at the bottom of the numbers there on the right boundary and hopefully go out of bounds around the 30.
Punt formation for Center Grove with 23 seconds on the clock. 4th down, 6 inches to go from their own 42.5. Center Grove leading at 21-17. And I'm not sure exactly what we're waiting on. Well, now they signal to wind the clock. And it jumped to 13 seconds. What is going on? It's like a 10-second runoff. It was 23. Now it's 13. Yeah. Then he signaled to start the clock.
Yeah, I would imagine Doug.
Now it's stopped again at 13.
Would have called the timeout at 20.
Here's the punt formation. Pressure snap, and that's a perfect snap, and the kick away. A low line drive, but it will be over toward the sideline, so Van Pelt can't go over and do anything with it, and it will roll inside the 10. Eventually, the clock will go to 0 before Center Grove touches the football, so we have gotten to halftime. Entertaining first half of football between Center Grove and Carroll. A rematch of the 2022 state championship game. And at the break, it is Center Grove with a 21-17 lead over the Chargers. Well, coming up on the Hoopy Halftime Report, we're going to come back here at the stadium and recap our first half. Macy Gray then will have the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven halftime scoreboard. And we'll come back for another 24 minutes of football here at Carroll to decide this one between the Center Grove Trojans and the Carroll Chargers. Again, at halftime, Center Grove leads it 21-17 over the Carroll Chargers on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. And we are back at Carroll High School. Brett Rump with Shannon Griffith and Macy Gray giving us an update here at the half, where it is Center Grove leading Carroll 21-17. Griff, you're the old former coach, so you can tell me what the two teams might have talked about here at halftime.
Well, Center Grove, they just got to get back to doing what they've done the whole first half. They're running the football, mixing the running pass to keep Carroll off balance and negate the bad penalties that they've taken here in the second quarter. For Carroll is they've got to get off to a better start in the second half than they did that first half. And this is a huge drive here. If they could get a 3-and-out on this second half opening drive, then I think they're in business. But they can't let Center Grove just go down the field on them here and get points.
Center Grove is going to get the second half kickoff, and the Trojans will be moving right to left as we look at it for the Carroll Chargers in their home uniforms with the white pants, blue jerseys, white numbers. They've got silver helmets with a blue stripe. Meanwhile, for Center Grove, white jerseys, white pants, white helmets with red, the complementary color. And it is going to be Corbin Dempsey who's going to tee it up, and he'll put it near the right hash at his own 40-yard line. Center Grove sends a trio of deep men lined up across the field at about their own 7, but Dempsey so far has put every kick into the end zone. And here is the boot, and he does it again. This one goes 2 yards deep, and it will be a touchback. So far, field position hasn't hurt Center Grove. They have started drives at their own 8-yard line, 12-yard line, and 20-yard line, and all 3 times they've taken it the length of the field for touchdowns.
Yeah, they've had pretty good success driving the field. And that's why I said this would be a big drive for Carroll right here.
Right to left. It is Oscar Sloan, the quarterback. He'll give on a dive play up the middle out to the 23. That's a 3-yard gain for Nolan Reese, leading running back last year. He is the top returning back that they've got for Center Grove. 5'11", 190-pound senior. Last week, rushed for 139 yards on 20 carries. And it's 2nd down and 7. Just outside the 23. Man in motion across left to right. Play action, and they'll dump it to McClurg out of the backfield. He gets out to the edge and takes it down the sideline real close to the first down. They're going to mark him a yard shy. He stepped out around the 29. He needs the 30 for the first. It'll be a 3rd down and 1 for the Trojans.
Play they've had much success tonight, whether it's throwing it to McClure or the tight end on that little slip screen into the flat. And they're coming in with a little bit of a wildcat set now as Sloan heads to the boundary.
It is 3rd down and short. Yard to go from the 29-yard line. And it is McClurg with a run up the middle. And Carroll got some penetration, and they took McClurg down for a loss at the 28. They'll give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, but it's still a yard short of the first down. It will bring up 4th and 1 from their own 29-yard line. That is a big stand by the Carroll Chargers defense and forcing Center Grove to punt it away.
Yeah, huge 3 and out. Now the table's set. Now the offense has to capitalize here with what looks to be pretty decent field position.
Jaden Van Pelt drops deep. He'll stand at his own 40-yard line to get this punt. There's the snap and the kick away. Low line drive, fair catch signaled for and taken by Van Pelt at about his 41-yard line. So good field position after a 3 and out. And Carroll down by 4 has the football, 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Yeah, big series here for Carroll. Down 21-17 to get off on the right start here in the 3rd quarter.
Just a 30-yard punt, no return. And on comes the offense led by junior quarterback Gabe Freisinger, 6'2", 195-pounder. Ball on the left hash. 2 receivers each side, single back. And they'll hand it. And Lauer bounces it left. He gets to the sideline. He's across midfield, chased out of bounds at the Center Grove 45. That's 14 yards by Billy Lauer. Really good vision that time because it looked like he was going to go off guard and then ended up sprinting to the far sideline. Play action. Throw on a little curl route to the outside. Bachman makes the catch, immediately tackled at the 40. It's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5.
I tell you, Gabe has got a quick delivery. That ball gets in and out of his hands very quickly, which is a great treat for a quarterback to have.
From the Center Grove 40, 2nd down, 5 to go. Here comes the blitz. Freisinger stands in the pocket, but overshot his man over toward the left side. Little curl route on the outside by Bachman, but an incomplete pass, and now it will be 3rd down and 5.
Took a shot on that one. The ball ended up sailing on him.
Center Grove came on the blitz. They sent 2 blitzers. One was picked up, and one got a free run at Freisinger, and he got hit just as he let go of it.
Well, that's where you got to be careful in this open set. No backs in the backfield. You got to know who's got who.
Trips to the right, 2 to the left. Shotgun. Freisinger looks left, throws. Again, it gets batted in the air, but a reaction by Bachman, and then Center Grove said they picked it off. No, it's incomplete. That ball batted and went right straight up in the air.
Well, they're going to have to address that because it's always been to his left.
Well, I think the problem is he really locks in, and the linemen see exactly where he is looking, and he gives them a chance to get into that path and get their hands up. 4th pass batted down by Freisinger, and he's a 6'2 quarterback. He shouldn't have that problem.
No.
So Carroll's going to have to give it right back, facing 4th down and 5 to go.
I was just going to say Center Grove holds serve there. And
low snap taken on a hop, and the kick away by Dempsey. Fair catch signaled for, taken at the 12. And so again, Center Grove will start pin deep, but as we said, they've got 3 touchdown scoring drives that have all been 80 yards plus in this football game. Center Grove leads at 21-17. We're early in the 3rd quarter.
Correction, 13-yard line.
So they'll sit it at the 13. 1st and 10. Ball on the right hash. 2 receivers line up wide to the left, 1 to the right. Send a man in motion, and then give it up the middle, and not much there. Again, Carroll gave up a lot of yards on the ground between the tackles on the first 2 drives by Center Grove. But that time, Eli Newhouser split the gap and made the tackle. A gain of maybe a half yard just outside the 13-yard line. 2nd down, long 9.
Yeah, and Goldecker's played a little bit better here in that 2nd quarter, and that's helped a ton.
Shotgun in the pocket, throw near side, and it's wide of his intended target. Incomplete pass.
A flag came in there a little late.
The flag in the backfield for Center Grove. And it's a hold against the Trojans, but you decline it, it's going to be 3rd down, almost 10 to go.
Yeah, you don't really.
If you take it, you only get half the distance, so it would only put it back 7 yards from the current line of scrimmage at about the 14.
Holding. Offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting the full 10 out of that because of the half the distance. So they'll decline that penalty, and it brings up 3rd down, long 9 to go, just outside the 13-yard line for Center Grove. Trojans leading at 21-17, 9:02 to play in the 3rd. Shotgun for Oscar Sloan, the sophomore quarterback, drops in the pocket, looks to the right, throws. Caught by Lang at the 20, and he can't get much after the catch. He goes down short of the 1st down, just outside the 20. It'll be 4th down and 2, and we had a shootout in the first half, and now we've got a defensive battle going with the 3rd straight 3 and out.
Well, you've got to like the way this Carroll defense has played from about the midpoint of that 2nd quarter up to now. A little bit more stingy up there in the front.
Van Pelt, the lone man back. Here's the snap, the kick, it's away. Again, a low kick, not very deep. Van Pelt comes up and slides to his knees at midfield to make the fair catch. They'll sit it on the Center Grove side of the 50, so another short punt of only 28 yards. And at the 48-yard line, Carroll starts 1st and 10 on Center Grove's side of the field.
Yeah, great field position here for Carroll, playing that field position thus far here in the 2nd half. Make something happen here on this drive. Get some points out of it somehow, some way.
Four receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and an empty backfield for quarterback Gabe Freisinger. There's the snap. He's looking right. Here comes the blitz. He has to unload it under pressure, and he throws it away. Out of bounds on the Carroll sideline, incomplete. Interesting formation with 4 to the right.
Well, when they get in that empty set, Center Grove's answer is they're going to blitz you. And, so if you're not going to complete it, it's not a set that's worth staying in too much.
They know you only got 5 to block, and so they'll send 6. 2nd down and 10. At the Center Grove 48, Chargers left to right. Draw back, quick look, and then a tuck and a run by Freisinger. He'll scoot to the far sideline and get out of bounds near the 44. Now 45. It's only a 3-yard gain. Once he split the oncoming rush, he immediately turned to his left and headed toward the Center Grove sideline. didn't get a whole lot, but it's 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 10.
Yeah, a little bit more manageable here, even though you're in that long category. Chance to get again, field position.
Left hash, Center Grove showing blitz. They're packing the line of scrimmage. And Freisinger will give it to the back, and he gets met in the backfield and taken down. Frankie Hayes, the linebacker, came on the blitz, got into the Carroll backfield. And that time, Carroll gets taken down for a loss. Asher Wagner with the carry for a negative 5 yards. And it'll bring up a 4th down and 13 to go back at their own 49. And Carroll's going to punt the ball away.
I think there was a mix-up on the signal there because the wrong card, I think, was red. You can't run outside when you got double-A gaps blitz.
Snap is good, and the kick is away. Dempsey sends a high hanging kick, and it's going to bounce, and it takes a big Carroll roll inside the 5. Can they down it? They do inside the 1. Well, in the exchange of punts, Carroll just keeps coming out on top. That time, Center Grove made the mistake of letting a ball bounce inside the 20, and it took a big Carroll hop headed toward the goal line. And Carroll coverage got there to down it inside the Center Grove 1.
That was a huge play there by the special teams that have come up big here.
Under center, Sloan with 2 backs behind him, and there's motion in the backfield, and this penalty will go as a foot.
There's no foul on the play. I had not blown the ball ready for play.
There you heard the official say that it wasn't put into play, so all the motion that happened doesn't matter. Again, Sloan gets under center. 2 tight ends. And they'll hand it up the middle, try to get a surge out of that offensive line. Not much there, but they do get a little space out to about the 2 or 3. That is Reese. I believe that is Reese. No, it is Hudson Winkler with the carry for Center Grove.
Yeah, we haven't really called his name as much as we did there in the first half. It's actually on the first drive of the game.
5'10", 190-pound junior running back. 2nd down and 8. And again, the give to the running back, and met at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard or 2 to the 5, but not much more. And you said it, Shannon. Carroll's defense has completely turned it around after those first couple of drives.
Yeah, they've been more aggressive. They're getting off blocks, especially up front. I thought Golddecker has done a great job, and he's a big kid. And then Newhouser's got to be he's got to be a big-time player in that middle.
Well, and the linebackers are getting a little more aggressive at shooting the gap and making early contact. Here on the 3rd down, they got a seam, and the running back with a free run up the middle across the 20 takes it out to the 24, and that is Nolan Reese coming up big on a 3rd down and getting the chains to move and give Center Grove some breathing space. 1st and 10 Trojans at their own 24-yard line after a 17-yard pickup.
Huge pickup there for Center Grove.
Shotgun. Again, the give to the back. And this time, Reese bounces it to the right. There's a flag, and there's 2 or 3 Chargers that got thrown down in the backfield. I think that's definitely going to be a hold. They were wrestled down, and it is a hold called against Center Grove. So you can take the 7 or 8 yard run by Reese off the board.
TJ Knight.
Offense.
Yeah.
10 yards from spot.
Smackdown.
6'4", 300 gave the finger pointing back to him. Who, me?
As he stands over Golddecker, who threw to the deck.
You got to love the big fellas up front, man.
They'll mark it back at the 15-yard line, and it will be now 1st down and about 19 to go. From the 15, just inside the left hash. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Drop back in the pocket. Looking to throw is Sloan. He pump fakes. Now he's going to try to take off, and he is tackled just shy of the line of scrimmage. That will be a sack. And credit it to Austin Roars, the 6'3", 207-pound junior linebacker. Relentless pressure and good coverage by Carroll.
Yeah, that's the first big one here tonight for them. Sack on the night, first one.
Officially a 1-yard loss at the 14-yard line, but now it is 2nd down and 20 as the clock ticks down to 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Center Grove still leading it 21-17. Carroll has not led in the football game. Drop back in the pocket. Sloan looks to throw, looking right. Pump fakes. Now he's going to throw over the top deep, and it hangs in the air, and it gets intercepted. Picked off. And we might have a taunting penalty against Carroll. The ball intercepted, but a late flag thrown at the spot where it was picked off. And the interception by Andrew Shee. The ball hung in the air, and it was slightly underthrown on that deep post over the top. She was able to adjust to the football, and it was good coverage by Carroll. But after the interception, they may have had a taunt. Let's see, the flag.
We have 2 fouls on the play, both against the intercepting team. Carroll will be the next to put the ball back in play, 1st and 10.
Carroll will have the ball.
A sideline warning.
Sideline warning called against the Chargers. Just a little overexcited after the interception, and then unsportsmanlike called on the taunting penalty against Carroll.
Yeah, 10-yard penalty, which isn't great. Center Grove Sloan made a poor decision there. He threw late down the middle of the field, and there were 2 Chargers covering McClure back there, and
hung it up short, too. Yeah. You can't underthrow that ball.
No. And she was in the right place to make a play. The only problem is there we get a dumb penalty there with the unsportsmanlike penalty, which takes away from the big play.
So after all is said and done, after the turnover, it is 1st and 10 for Carroll at their own 34. Quick little curl route, and it's completed to Van Pelt at the 40, immediately wrangled down. A gain of 6. Well, they'll give him 5 to the 39. 2nd down and 5. 4:24, and the clock ticks away here in the third quarter. Carroll looking for their first lead in the game. They trail 21-17. Shotgun snap, quick out route. Caught by Shaley, and he'll take it to the near sideline. 1st down yardage. Knocked out of bounds at midfield at the 50. If Freisinger doesn't get the ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage, he's been really sharp. 1st and 10 Chargers at the 50. And again, a quick out route. That time, a free blitzer came in and just blasted Freisinger as he tried to throw that quick out. And a pass sails incomplete over the head of Jaden Van Pelt near sideline. And the referee comes in to check on Freisinger. That's how hard he just got popped as True Paxson, the linebacker, came free on a blitz.
Yeah, that was not very nice by Paxson.
2nd down and 10, still at midfield. Freisinger drops, throws over the top, and there's an interference penalty as they were holding up Van Pelt. The pass incomplete, but there will be an interference call against Center Grove.
Yeah, another costly mistake by Center Grove.
And Van Pelt looks like he might be cramping. He is coming off the field, and so they won't have Van Pelt out there. The penalty march-off will take it from the 50 to the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Chargers, and they will tend to Jaden Van Pelt. Looked like he might have been cramping up.
Yeah.
1st and 10. Drop back Freisinger from the pocket. He's going deep over the top. He's got Sheely open, and he overthrew him at the goal line.
Got to get underneath it.
Yeah, that's the third time that Freisinger has gotten a man behind the defense and line drived it over his head.
Yeah, you got to get that ball in the air, young man.
Harrison Shaley, who switched numbers this year, now wearing, of course, his older brother Owen's number. Owen, unfortunately, passing away. Second down, 10. Quick out route. And that one right through the hands of Shaley, incomplete at the 29-yard line. And it'll bring up third down and 10.
Yeah, they got away here a little bit from the run game. I don't mind them taking shots in there, but at the same time, you got to put yourself in a better position than third and long.
3:53 remains, third quarter, 21-17 Center Grove. Carroll with the ball, third down and 10 from the Center Grove 35. Ball on the right hash, trip receivers left, one receiver right. Van Pelt still out of the game. Drop back Freisinger. Here comes the pressure, and they're going to sack him back at the 39-yard line. A loss on the play of 4 yards. Now they've sat it on the field at the 38, so a loss of 3. Fourth down 13, and you're that in-between distance. At the 38, it would be about a 55-yard attempt at a field goal. Yeah, if you punt it, you can pin Center Grove deep.
Which they have.
But if it goes in the end zone, you don't gain all that much.
Wow.
Here's a drop back Freisinger. He's going to air it out. Far pylon at the end zone. Man-to-man incomplete.
Dropped it.
Only reason you might have thought about punting that one away, as Center Grove will take over on downs, is you didn't have Van Pelt on the field.
Well, and the other thing is here, you're still within a score.
Tried to go to Bachman on the sideline fly route, throw it to the pylon, let Bachman go get it. And he did drop it right over the defender, but Bachman couldn't handle it. And it turns it over on downs.
Yeah, I would have punted it there because you've been playing with good field position.
3:12 left, third quarter. 4-point lead for Center Grove. There's a handoff up the middle, and again, no running room. Carroll with a good clean tackle, and it's Eli Newshauser who makes the play. A gain of only a yard out to the 39, where it's second down and 9.
Yeah, it's been a little bit harder for Center Grove here in the second half to really get anything that they were getting there in the first running-wise.
Shotgun for Sloan. Play action. Dropping, throwing, airing it out near side. Man-to-man, and it is caught at the 23-yard line and knocked out of bounds. They went right at Seth McCaw, the Carroll corner. They had man-to-man coverage with Aiden Francis, a 6-foot, 180-pound senior, and a beautiful throw by Oscar Sloan, just laying it out, letting his receiver go and get the football. Big play for Center Grove. First and 10, Trojans at the 21.
Yeah, and that's why you punt it down here. You give them that position to take that type of play.
Handoff up the middle, Reese. Oh, that's a monster hit by Newhauser after a 1-yard gain.
Gotta love that kid.
Oh, did he get it? I mean, that's pads on pads, just stopping Reese in his tracks. A gain of 1 to the 20.
You can make a tape of that on how to form tackle correctly as a linebacker, because that was textbook.
Second down and 9. Ball on the left hash. And a little mix-up. Quarterback will keep it, running near side, break away from a tackle, and then get extra yards to the 15, maybe even the 14-yard line. Gain of 6 on a busted play. And a busted tackle. Got right through the arm tackle of one of the Carroll defenders. In fact, I think that might have been Mason Bachman, number 19, playing some defense now. He might be in there for Van Pelt.
Yeah, and this is a big third down here. 3rd and 3.
Third down, 3 to go. Handoff up the middle. Oh, a nice little jump cut in the hole, and that's going to get him to the 10 for a first down. Nice run by Jaden Bickerstaff for Center Grove. And it's going to be first and goal for the Trojans. They'll sit the ball at the 9-yard line. Last minute 40 of our third quarter. Center Grove trying to take a 2-score lead, leading at 21-17. First and goal at the Chargers 9. Ball on the left hash with a single receiver right, 2 to the short side left. Going to give up the middle. And the carry down close to the 6-yard line. 3-yard gain by Nolan Reese. Second and goal from the 6. Well, you got to figure out a way to keep them to a field goal and stay within one score.
Yes.
This is where in the first half, Center Grove got it at about this position, and they went with a wide receiver sweep to Drake McClurg, and he took it all the way around the edge for a score.
And here's the setup.
They will run, and now a keeper. Sloan breaks away from a tackle. The 5 gets to the 2, maybe the 3, and then gets knocked backwards, but a quarterback run by Sloan goes for about 3 yards to the 3-yard line. It is third down and goal.
Well, that time they were throwing that ball in the flat to that little slip screen, but Carroll's defensive end got upfield fast enough that forced Sloan to tuck it and run it.
You got to think that Center Grove might be thinking 4-down territory here. They fill up the backfield with 2 tight ends, 3 running backs, right up the middle. Power football. Reese takes it 3 yards. Touchdown. Nolan Reese, his 3-yard touchdown run up the gut makes it a 10-point Center Grove lead.
At the end of the quarter, but we will have the point after attempt.
That is the final play of our third quarter. We will have the extra point, but after the extra point, we'll be at the quarter break. Here's the snap, the set, the kick, and it is good. So at the end of the third quarter, it is 28-17. Center Grove, the 11-point lead over the Carroll Chargers. We head to the fourth quarter next on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. We get set to head to the fourth quarter here at Carroll High School with a 28-17 Center Grove lead over the Carroll Chargers. Center Grove set to kick off after the touchdown gives them their first 2-score lead of the night. Center Grove has led 7-0, 14-7, 21-14, 21-17, and now 28-17. So it's Dallas Kornprobst who is set to kick it off for Center Grove. And it looks like Van Pelt has returned to the field. The kick goes into the end zone. Bachman the catch, but he's a yard deep in the blue turf, and so it'll come out to the 20. Jaden Van Pelt has got the 2 Carroll touchdowns tonight, both on big explosive plays, but he left the game on the last offensive drive by Carroll with what appeared to be cramps, but he did go back out to return that kick. And he is staying on the field with the Carroll offense. So good for Carroll getting Van Pelt back on the field. From the left hash, high snap handled. They'll give to Lauer. He'll take it around the left end, but he can't turn the corner. He's thrown to the turf. No gain. In fact, it might be a yard loss for Billy Lauer. At the 19, it's second down 11.
Lincoln Bright made play. Senior 6'3" and about 230. Nice play in space there.
Trip receivers to the wide side right, single back behind Freisinger, and he'll throw over the middle. And just behind Jaden Van Pelt on that quick, skinny slant up the middle. And incomplete. And again, Van Pelt limping gingerly on those legs.
Got a flag at the top.
Yeah, flag on the far side near the numbers at the 24-yard line.
Well, you think Van Pelt.
The line of scrimmage was the 19. I don't know.
Said illegal, ineligible receiver downfield, so that had to be.
Might have been the formation.
Yeah, may have covered up the tight end there, but Van Pelt, you think, wouldn't cramped on a nice night.
Downfield, receiver was covered.
Yeah.
On the offense.
But this is his first true game, so he's played a lot of snaps tonight, so that's the reason.
Third down. He had
11:25 remaining, and it is third down and 11 after the penalties declined on the incomplete pass from their own 19. Carroll will send Van Pelt wide to the right. Slot to the right is Shaley. And here's a drop back. Freisinger escapes pressure, rolling to the near sideline, and then throws late at the first down stick on the sideline. The catch made, and that could be a first down. It is. What a play on the near sideline. And I'm not sure who caught it because they're right in the mass of
Mason. Got that one, but
Bachman with the catch on the near sideline, and it is a first down right at the stick at the 30-yard line.
He may have gotten away with a big-time push-off.
First and 10 on the third down conversion, and a handoff to the running back right up the middle. Kind of bulldozed forward to the 32, picking up 2 yards. That's Asher Wagner, 5'10", 205-pounder, a junior for Carroll. Makes the second down and 8. Got to think at some point they're going to have to take a shot with Van Pelt again. He's back on the field.
Yeah, one-on-one.
One-on-one, lined up wide to the right. Ball on the left hash, 2 receivers short side left. And they'll look to the left, and they'll throw. Bachman makes the catch at the 37, turns to the sideline, gets out to the 40, and that should be another first down.
They're close to it.
Yeah, let's see if they give him. If they give him the 40, it's a first.
Yeah.
And it is a first down. They put the ball right on the 40. That's twice now that Bachman has made a play on the sideline right at the stick, knowing exactly what he needed. Everybody moving early on this one.
Not a good.
That's one of those where I think 10 guys knew the count, and the one guy that didn't was the one that was supposed to snap it.
The big fella.
Everybody was moving, but the ball was still sitting on the turf. So it is a 5-yard march off against the Carroll Chargers on the procedure. First and 15 with it back at the 35. 10.5 minutes left. 28-17. Center Grove the lead. 3 receivers, wide side to the right, 1 to the left. Play action, throw, hit as he releases it. Freisinger completes it near side. And again, Bachman makes the catch at the 40, turns to the sideline, and gets out to about the 43. Well, he didn't get much, but he turned what could have been a disaster into a positive play because Freisinger was hit just as he let go of it. Quick throw near sideline again, and a long reach and a catch made by Bachman. Boy, he's having a night.
He is.
He's got to have 7-8 catches.
Again, they're going into, looks like a wholesale change.
Out at the 48, now it brings up a 3rd down and 2. They need the midfield stripe for a first down. 10 minutes left. Under center is Freisinger. Gives to the tailback. It's Wagner, and Wagner gets the first down. He gets across the 50 to the Center Grove 49. Another first down for the Chargers. Down by 11. 9:57 left to play here at Carroll.
They're going to probably need to get a little more sense of urgency here shortly. 9:48 left here to go, and down essentially 2 scores.
Chargers 1st and 10 at the Center Grove 49-yard line. Freisinger back to the gun. Wagner the lone back. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Blitz comes, and they're going to get to Freisinger. Untouched. That is Frankie Hayes, the linebacker, who came on a blitz, and Freisinger goes down at the 43. A loss of 8 on the play.
Well, tip your hat to the call there, but they had what they wanted back here, a little bit of throwback screen right where the blitz came from, and unfortunately, Gabe didn't have enough chance to throw it. Had he, they would have been walking in the end zone.
2nd and 18. And again, the blitz comes. Freisinger unloads. Van Pelt had it, but dropped it out of midfield. Well, I think he was thinking about running before he secured the ball, because if he would have caught it, he turned upfield and split right through 2 defenders. Had a chance to take that one all the way, but again, Van Pelt walking very gingerly on that left calf, which appears to be what is cramping up on him.
Yeah, he's been grabbing his hamstring there. I hope it's not hailing.
3rd down, 18. Freisinger calling out the play. He's got 2 receivers each side. Single back. Here comes the blitz up the middle. They pick it up, but Freisinger's still holding on to it. He escapes the pressure. Now he's on a sprint to the far side. A flag down in the backfield. Freisinger still up. Takes it to the Center Grove 40. But there is a flag, and now let's see what the penalty is. They had a hand on Freisinger, but they also had hands on the rush because it's a holding penalty called against Carroll. This play's coming back. Would have been a 17-yard run on a 3rd and 18 play. And so the penalty will march it off, and things going from bad to worse for the Carroll Chargers right now with 8:45 to play, and Center Grove leading it 28-17.
Yeah, you don't have this play in your playbook, which is 3rd and forever. Heck, he may almost be in Center Grove with this one. So you got to figure out a way to get a big chunk here if you're going to try to go for it on 4th down.
And Van Pelt is not, I don't know, is he on the, yeah, he's on the slot to the right. And they'll run a screen to Van Pelt. Try to see what he can do, and he can't get away from the first man. Had a guy trying to block to get a lead block ahead of him, but the Center Grove defender fought off the block and then tackled Van Pelt for a very short gain out to the 35.5-yard line. It's 4th and a country mile, and Carroll's got no choice but to punt the football away with 8:15 and the clock running. 28-17, Center Grove.
Yeah, you just don't have a play for that call.
Here's the kick by Dempsey. This is a short, wobbly kick, and it bounces at the 30 and takes a big Carroll hop inside the 15. It will roll dead at the 10. Well, it's a monster boot. Almost a 50-yard punt. No return, and officially they'll sit it at the 11-yard line.
Yeah.
Which is very funny because the ball rolled dead sitting right on the 10. Nobody ever really downed it.
No, it just kind of died there.
And they give them the 11. So apparently the football had forward progress. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line on the right hash. 2 receivers bunched together wide left. And it's a give up the middle to the running back. And they'll bounce it out to the left, pick up a block, go across the 20 and down to the 24-yard line. Shifty running and a great read of the blocking up front. That time for Center Grove's Hudson Winkler. And a big gain out to the 23, a 12-yard pickup and a 1st down for Center Grove.
This Carroll defense is kind of running out of gas right now. You get a lot of guys that are kind of cramping up as well.
Yeah, Van Pelt is out there. Wagner is out there. A couple of guys that have been playing a lot of offense. And now you've got the handoff up the middle. And not a whole lot there. A couple of yards just to cross the 25-yard line on the carry. And that was Winkler. Winkler will head to the sideline, and a fresh body, Jaden Biggerstaff, comes into the backfield for Center Grove. We're going under 7 minutes left. Trojans leading it over Carroll, 28-17. Center Grove, second down and 7 from the 21.
East Noble,
or 26 rather.
East Noble and Snyder's game was called with East Noble up 29-7.
Handoff off left end across the 30. And they'll mark it at the 33. That's very close to the first down. Well, they'll set it in the middle of the field at 32. So it is a yard shy of the first down stick. It's going to be third down, a yard to go as the clock continues to run. Now under 6:20 remaining.
That Snyder game was called with 3:32 left in the game due to a serious injury to a Snyder player. So hopefully that is not bad.
Double tight end, give to the fullback, up the middle, looking for first down yardage, and will have it out to the 34. That is Reese with the carry for Center Grove. Gain of 2 on 3rd and 1. And a fresh set of downs for Center Grove with 6 minutes left. They lead it 28-17 over Carroll.
And Coach Doug is going to have to start thinking about using his timeouts. He's got 3 left.
From the left hash, 1st and 10. And they'll give it this time to Winkler. Takes it around left end and gets hit hard as he gets out to the 40. Officially the mark at the 41. That's a gain of about 6, almost 7 yards. Second down, long 3. Of course, coming up after the game, Adam Lundy will have a complete rundown of tonight's final scores.
Hey, and big win for Northrop, 31-23, scoring 25-3, outscoring Huntington North 25-3 in the second half. Wow.
Play action, quarterback keeper, and he'll run up the middle and take it to the 45 and then slide. That's enough for a first down. And now the officials trying to pull players apart. A little frustration shown by Carroll, but quickly simmers down, and you've got a first down for Center Grove. Fresh set of downs with under 5 minutes to play, and the Trojans leading it by 11. Ball at the 45. Center Grove, left to right. Oscar Sloan, the quarterback, in the gun, 5 yards deep, gives to the running back. Winkler up the middle, pulls away from 1, pulls away from 2. Now he cuts to the first sideline, 30, 25, 20. At the 15, he cuts back into the middle of the field, breaks away from another, and gets into the end zone. Touchdown. But there is a flag on the field at the 34. It's coming back. It is a hold called against Center Grove. What an individual effort by Hudson Winkler. He covered almost every bit of turf up the middle, to the sideline, back toward the middle, and kept breaking away from tackle after tackle. But it all comes back after the hold called against the Trojans.
Yeah, 55-yard.
Oh, it's a block in the back.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. The yardage gain still results.
Well, it's a penalty that happened 11 yards past the first down stick. They mark it 10 yards back, and it's still a first down by a yard. Dwenger with a huge win tonight over St. Francis de Sales out of Toledo. 31-15 the final there. Homestead hanging tough with Noblesville. They're down 10-6 in the fourth quarter. Here's a handoff for a short gain to the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the carry, 2nd and 6. The clock going under 4 minutes. Time running out on Carroll as the Chargers trail it 28-17.
I'm surprised that Doug hasn't started using some timeouts here, because You got to conserve as much time as you can.
Well, you want to pick when they get behind the sticks. And right now, 2nd and 6, they really don't have a great spot to burn timeouts. There's a handoff. And this time, Ricky Lang drags a tackler inside the 40 to the 38.
So, like right now,
now it's 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, you'd be a good,
3.5 minutes left, but the clock will continue to run. Well, this could be 4-down territory. North side in a close one.
Yeah.
Heading to the 4th quarter, the Legends 29, New Haven 23. Wow. Handoff up the middle. It's Winkler, and Winkler hit at the 35, continues forward to the 32, and that's another 1st down. And a 5-yard gain for Hudson Winkler.
That would be a stunner. I know that game is probably now done. That was about a 30-minute ago score, but 29-23 going into the 4th. That was crazy.
We talked about Northside having to prove it after beating Northridge last week. And what a bounce back for New Haven after they were thumped by Northrop a week ago. 1st and 10, Center Grove, under 2.5 minutes left. And a give. It is Reese taking it wide, far sideline, hit at the 30. And, a great job there just staying in bounds. Could have easily taken it right across that far edge, but stayed in bounds, took a big hit. A 2-yard gain, but the most important part of that play is he forces Carroll to take a timeout after the 2-yard pickup. And 2:23 on the clock. 28-17 on the scoreboard. With a timeout in the action, we will take a break. You're listening to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. 2 minutes, 23 seconds remains here at Carroll, with the Chargers leading at 28-17 over Center Grove. 2nd down and 8 for the Trojans. And a handoff up the middle. And there is a path for Nolan Reese, and he will take it all the way to the end zone. Touchdown. Game over, exclamation point, with 2:17 remaining. Right up the gut and an open seam right straight to the end zone for Center Grove, and they extend the lead to 34-17.
Another major drive there as they go 89 yards.
This is Corn Props trying to add the extra point. The set and a little hesitation. I'm not sure about the set, but the kick did get up, and it is good. And we've got a 35-17 score with 2:17 remaining in the football game. You're listening to the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Coming up after the game, Adam Lundy will have your scoreboard on the Kester postgame show. 2:17 remains here in this one. Of course, after the game, I'm heading to Pizza Hut. I'm doing my typical Friday night, picking up a pizza, using the app, go to the deals. I know exactly what I want.
Are you? What do you get?
I get my typical large pan with American sausage.
My wife just informed me she did not cook.
That's what you have to do. All these people leaving Carroll now early, convinced this one's over. They got to swing by Pizza Hut, pick up their pizza. So Center Grove to kick it off now with a 35-17 lead. Here's the kick, and it's Bachman at the 7. Across the 10, 15, 20. Hit and taken down at the 22. 15-yard return for Mason Bachman. And the Chargers have 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining in this one. Center Grove just kind of wore Carroll down here late.
Yeah, Carroll just, they came out with a perfect opportunity there in the 3rd and just kind of spun out of control there.
1st and 10 for the junior quarterback, Gabe Freisinger. A good throw on an out route right on target to That's Logan Heath, who makes the catch and gets out of bounds. Stops the clock at 2:08 remaining. And they'll sit the ball right at the 30, where it will be second down, 2 to go.
Well, I'm impressed with Gabe. He's got a live arm.
Again, little curl route. Bachman with the catch at 35. He's immediately tackled. That's Manning Poston making the tackle. Polston, part of the secondary for Center Grove, takes Bachman down. But I'll be interested to see the stats after this one, because Bachman is probably getting near 10 catches. Little pass to a swing out of the backfield. They get it to Wagner. Wagner breaks away from one, crosses 35, taken down near the 37. The only problem is he caught that ball about 7 yards deep in the backfield and did a lot just to get back basically to the line of scrimmage. Second down. They do give him 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Drop back in the pocket. Freisinger looks to his right. Sidesteps. Now throws over the middle, and he's got a man at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. The third of the night for Jaden Van Pelt. All big plays. Van Pelt is down. He has struggled with cramps all night long, and he is not getting up. He was dragged down just as he got to the end zone. But unbelievable performance for Jaden Van Pelt. Bachman with tons of catches. Van Pelt with the explosive plays. That is his third long touchdown play of the ball game. And what a dime dropped in perfectly by Gabe Freisinger. That post route over the middle, and he just dropped it in, let Van Pelt catch it in stride, and then Van Pelt with a great sprint won the race to the pylon, and touchdown number 3, and Van Pelt just hobbling his way over to the near sideline. Here's the extra point. It's a low-line drive. I mean, that was an ugly kick, but it went through the uprights. It's good for Corbin Dempsey. Well, we have not had a missed kick tonight. 35-24, a minute 14 left, and here comes the onside kick, almost an assurance for Carroll.
Yeah, but another nice throw by Gabe Freisinger. Again, and he's still got some things to learn. Second start of his career, but he's got a live arm, and he's a pretty accurate thrower when you really evaluate some things, and he'll learn to get the air underneath the ball like he did there.
Yeah,
with some of these other throws that he missed, the guys that were open.
And that's the thing, you look at how many times he threw the quick out route, where it's a real quick catch and throw.
You
get that shotgun snap, and you got to set the feet and throw quickly, right? Then you throw the deep ball, where you might have to drift back a step or two in the pocket and then let go. And he seems to have the footwork down. He's got the posture. He's got decent size at 6'2", 195 pounds.
Stayed in the pocket. He wasn't bailing too early. Maybe one, but...
Well, he had some blitzes that he stood in there and let go of the ball with a guy right in his face. Yeah.
Welcome to Friday night.
Tough kid. So let's see. The onside kick. Here it is. And it takes a big hop. It's in the air, and it's free.
Oh, jeez.
Carroll could have had it and went right through their hands. The big hop went over the top of everybody for Center Grove, and streaking down the near sideline, the ball went right into the hands of Andrew Shee, and he missed it. It went out of bounds, and it will belong to Center Grove, and that will be the ball game with 1:11 left.
Yeah, he was looking to run it rather than secure it.
He could have caught that in stride and taken it all the way for a touchdown, and things would have really been interesting. That was a perfect onside kick.
Oh, you couldn't. Yeah, that in itself.
Bounce, and the big hop.
That was definitely a beautiful execution. Catch it first, Mr. Shee, before you take off running there, partner.
Yeah, and everybody for Center Grove came up, and the ball with that big hop went right over the top of all of them toward the sideline, and almost like running a fly route. She was sprinting down the sideline, and the ball was in the air coming right to him, and he just whiffed on it. Handoff to the fullback up the middle, and that is Reese with the carry for about 8 yards out to the 45. Now we go under a minute left. Carroll out of timeouts. 35-24, last 50 seconds. 35-24, Center Grove with the lead. They have never surrendered the lead to Carroll tonight.
No, and this will be the last play because all they have to do is kneel it.
Yeah, it's down to 35 seconds. Clock running, 8 on the play clock. Well, now they reset the play clock.
What in the world? You don't even.
Victory formation for Center Grove. They'll take a knee. And we will take a break as the clock winds down. We'll come back here and tell you how this one finished up. And then we've got the Kessler's postgame show. Powered by Pizza Hut. Oh, I get hungry every time I say it. We've got that coming up. Our final score here at Carroll. It's Center Grove improving to 2-0 on the year, knocking Carroll to 0-2 as the Trojans beat the Chargers 35-24. Postgame here at the stadium comes up next on the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Welcome back to Carroll High School, where the final score is Center Grove defeating the Carroll Chargers 35-24. And an exciting game, but Center Grove just too much on the ground for the Carroll Chargers. But what a night for Van Pelt of Carroll. Makes his season debut, and it makes it a memorable one with 3 touchdowns, and all of them of the electric variety. And let's go ahead and get a recap on the scoring on this one from the coach, because I think as you go through this, you'll probably hear the kind of night that Jaden Van Pelt actually had.
And I may need some help out of the bullpen. This is a long list here tonight. Let's start off in the first quarter. Center Grove taking their first drive of the game. 5:25. They go on a 14-play, 92-yard drive. Hudson Winkler, 3-yard touchdown run. The PAT was good, and Center Grove was out to a 7-0 lead. Carroll comes right back at 4:14. This time, Gabe Frenziger. 52-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Van Pelt. 5 plays, 52 yards. PAT was good, and we had a tie ball game at 7-7. Then at 24 seconds left in the quarter, Center Grove orchestrates a 8-play drive, 88 yards. Nolan Reese from 32 yards out. PAT was good, and it was 14-7 at the end of 1. In the second quarter, Carroll, 8:56, 2 plays, 51-yard drive. Gabe Frenziger, 61-yard touchdown pass to Caden Van Pelt. The PAT was good, and it was 14-14, and that was after that big holding penalty. So the good big pickup there on the big-time play to Jaden for his second on the night. 5:08, Center Grove, 11-play, 80-yard drive. Drake McClure runs it in from 7 yards out. Again, the PAT was good, and we were 21-14, Center Grove. Carroll at 1:36 of the second quarter, this time after a 13-play drive. Corbin Dempsey from 39 yards out. Good, and it was 21-17 at halftime. And then heading into the third quarter, they only score right at the end of the quarter. Center Grove, 8 plays, 62-yard drive. Nolan Reese from 3 yards out, giving Center Grove a 28-17 game lead heading into the fourth quarter. Then in the fourth at 2:17, Center Grove, 11-play, 89-yard drive. Nolan Reese again, from 29 yards out. PAT was good. Center Grove up for good there, 35-17. Carroll makes it interesting. 1:14 left. Gave Frinziger again a 63-yard touchdown pass to Jaden Van Pelt. 4 plays, 78-yard drive. Makes it 35-24 on a great onside kick. Unfortunately, was not able to come up with it. And Center Grove was able to secure a 35-24 victory, heading to 2-0. And the Carroll Chargers 0-2.
Jake Van Pelt for Carroll must feel like his calves are string cheese, the way he keeps rubbing them. He is still limping around down on the field, but what a night for the Carroll Chargers senior receiver. 3 huge, electric touchdown plays for Jaden Van Pelt tonight. He is our player of the game, but Center Grove will have well, I don't know if it's a joyous bus ride, but at least it's not a long bus ride after you get a victory, as they'll head back to Greenwood with a 2-0 record. Carroll takes on the best in the state. Hamilton Southeastern last week, Center Grove tonight. They fall short, but they competed, and, that's what these non-conference games are supposed to be about. Carroll now 0-2 as they'll enter conference play next week. Well, that will wrap it up for us. Our portion of the broadcast. Coming up, Adam Lundy is our post-game host. He is taking care of business with the H&K Chevrolet of New Haven high school football scoreboard. And, of course, our post-game show, as always, is presented by Kester's of New Haven. And big thanks to Pizza Hut for their support of tonight's broadcast. Not sure where the future goes with Pizza Hut, but they were gracious and kind enough to support tonight's broadcast, and really appreciate that, and thank them for their unwavering support of high school football and the high school football broadcast for so many years. 15 years that Pizza Hut has done this with us. So we'll wrap it up. Once again, we thank you for listening, and for those of you in your cars, we thank you for tuning in when you got to your car to find out exactly what's going on around the area, and that is coming up next as we transition to the post-game show coming up on the other side. For Macy Gray, our studio producer and our halftime scoreboard host, and the coach, Shannon Griffith, I am Brett Rump. Our final score here at Carroll: the Center Grove Trojans have come to town and stolen a 35-24 victory from the Carroll Chargers. So thank you for listening. Coming up next, the post-game show. This has been the Midwest Box Breaks High School Football Game of the Week on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.